The Korean War, the war the United States fought, often referred to as the Forgotten War. Over 36,000 American soldiers sacrificed their blood to defend South Korea from communism. South Korea exists today because of their sacrifice. General MacArthur and General Baek Sun-yup shouted, "We go together." And that is why South Korea has freedom today. But what if South Korea falls? South Korea is under attack, not by bullets or missiles, but by infiltration. The radical leftist group, known as Jusapa, has abandoned its ideology and has become a puppet of Xi Jinping. South Korea is using Chinese technology in the election.
I asked the president several times, what was this election mean? Because I was up in all the polls, and then the election came out, I win by like 1%. And he goes, I just couldn't believe it, so there's something wrong. I was like, well, who runs your elections? Didn't get answered. Who runs your elections? Didn't get answered. Third question, who runs your elections? Huawei runs the South Korea. Huawei runs the South Korea. Huawei runs the South Korea.
The pro-impeachment protests are ran by Chinese. Many Americans still don't understand why President Yoon made an emergency call to restore order. The media called it martial law, and now everyone believes it was martial law. But what is the truth? It was not martial law. It was an emergency measure to prevent total collapse under CCP control. No one was hurt. No one was killed. No one lost their freedom. The false narrative of the media was created by the CCP force trying to overthrow democracy. The media, the judiciary, the economy, the Congress, the House, and even the courts had already been infiltrated by pro-CCP forces. The president and his officials did not have power to do anything. The people were blinded and silenced. After 29 impeachment attempts in 2 years and continuous election fraud, the nation's functions were paralyzed. This emergency call was the only way to restore order and awaken the people. And it worked. South Koreans, especially the youth, have finally started to realize the truth. The people are fighting back stronger than ever. The majority of Koreans are outraged by the election fraud, and top universities have officially declared their opposition. But the battle is far from over. The Constitutional Court, already controlled by pro-CCP forces, has set the stage for impeachment. What is their goal? Their goal is to remove a president elected by the people and replace him with the CCP's puppet, Lee Jae-myung.
Here we go, Denver. There we go. So on your left, that's Lee, the leader of the Democratic Party. He's left wing. He's actually pro-China. He calls the U.S. an occupation force. He says, and now he was just convicted of malfeasance. This is why you're seeing everything going on. He was convicted of malfeasance, and that means he potentially can't even run for president, which he wants the presidency. He's a hardcore left-winger, pro-China. He wants U.S. forces out, calls us an occupation force, wants the THAAD missiles out, and works very.
Steve Bannon called Lee Jae-myung a hardcore pro-China leftist. But he is more than that. He is a criminal. He is facing at least 4 serious criminal charges in Korea. Key witnesses against him have mysteriously died, one after another. His policies have always aligned with Beijing's interests. If Yi Jae-myung and his allies succeed, South Korea will fall completely under Xi Jinping's rule. If South Korea falls, what happens to America? The US will lose our most strategic military foothold in East Asia. China will dominate the global semiconductor supply chain, crippling the American economy. If China takes full control of East Asia, an invasion of Taiwan will be inevitable. Japan will be forced to respond, and America and the world will find themselves entangled in the largest war in human history. The worst-case scenario? World War III.
The following message is being delivered at the direction of the United States government.
South Korea, Taiwan, and Japan have some of the most advanced nuclear technology in the world. All three countries could develop nuclear weapons within a month. This technology is the last defense against China's expansion. If South Korea falls into China's hands, that technology falls with it. If China dominates East Asia, the world's peace will collapse. We watched as Hong Kong fell to the CCP, but South Korea is different. There is still time, but not much. The Korean people are resisting. They are fighting to protect democracy from the CCP's control. America must stand with Korea. The US government, corporate leaders, and every freedom-loving American must recognize this crisis. This is not just a Korean issue. It is about global power balance. If Korea falls, America loses its strategic dominance and control in Asia.
We thank them for sending their sons, their husbands, and their brothers. We shall never forget that from our valleys and the mountains, the souls of American and Korean soldiers went up together to God.
South Korea was built on American blood. We cannot let that sacrifice be in vain. We go together. Share this message. Spread the truth. Tell your representatives. The United States must not abandon Korea. For freedom, security, and the future of democracy, we must act now.